guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Andrea. Thank you so much for being here. So as you can see, this room looks very different now, and that is because it's no longer a makeup room, it's a nursery now. And I wanted to make this video to kind of explain why I've been gone for 10 months and to tell you guys that I'm coming back and kind of explain why I was gone for so long and kind of tell you guys, I guess, like a story time of my PCOS journey slash finding out I was finally pregnant slash why I decided not to make any videos, not to vlog about my pregnancy, basically not to document any of my pregnancy on YouTube, and kind of tell you guys where I want my channel to go. So it's quite a lot, and I don't want this video to be an hour, so let's go ahead and get started. So I've been gone for 10 months, and that is because I was pregnant with a baby girl. Her name is Emma, and she is a month old now. I found out I was pregnant in late September of last year, which is around the same time I posted my last video. And I decided not to document, I guess, my pregnancy on YouTube because I just wanted to make sure I would have a healthy pregnancy and a healthy baby. So let's begin with, I guess, my PCOS journey. So PCOS stands for Polycystic Ovary Syndrome, and I'm actually gonna kind of Google it right now so I can tell you guys correct information. I know my symptoms that I had. I just want to make sure that I'm not saying something that's not right. So with PCOS, you have a lot of tiny little cysts in your ovaries. Also, a lot of people have irregular periods, which was my case. I have an irregular cycle, which means I don't get my period every single month. I actually would get it every 4 months. One time I went 8 months without a period, and that's really not healthy for you. So it's not a good thing that I wasn't getting my period. And if you don't get your period, you don't ovulate, and if you don't ovulate, you really can't get pregnant. So that is why I was having trouble getting pregnant, and that is the reason too why I wasn't making any videos. This baby was so wanted. We prayed for this baby, we wished for this baby, we hoped for this baby. So I wanted to make sure for my mental health that I had a calm and healthy pregnancy. So anyway, let's go back to the PCOS. So when I got my period at 13 years old, I noticed that I would not get it every single month. Like I said, I would get it every 3 to 4 months, and that really went on from 13 to about 18 years old once I started being sexually active with my husband, with my now husband. At the time, he was my boyfriend. So back then, obviously, we were too young, and even though we knew we would end up with each other, I mean, you never know, but we were in love and we hoped that we would end up with each other. Thank God we did. We just knew we didn't want to start a family that young, so we decided I was going to go on birth control to not only not get pregnant, but also to regulate my period, because it was kind of crazy, you know, not knowing when I was going to get my period. And back then I didn't know I had PCOS, and I didn't know about it, so I didn't know that I couldn't get pregnant, basically. So that is why I went on birth control when I was 18. So around 3 years later, when I was 2 or 3 years later, when I was 20 or 21, we had already lived together for a couple of years, and we decided we wanted to start a family. I know it's a bit young for some people, but we wanted to be young parents. We've always known we wanted kids, and we decided we wanted to start a family. But it just wasn't happening for us, so I decided to go to a gynecologist just to kind of see what was wrong. If there was anything wrong with me. Like I said, I didn't know about PCOS, so I didn't know that I had it, and that is when I was diagnosed with it. So the doctor told me I had PCOS based on symptoms that I had told her, not getting my period. Also, I had gained about 25 pounds after high school, which sucks, but now I understand that that's also a part of PCOS, is weight gain. Also, it's a hormone imbalance, and there's a few other symptoms. Let me see. So it's a hormonal disorder causing enlarged ovaries with small cysts on the outer edges. And I found out later on that I did have the tiny cysts all over my ovaries as well. But at this time, in 2015, I believe, this gynecologist didn't do any ultrasounds. She really just diagnosed me based on my symptoms. And she was a little negative about it. She basically told me that it'd be next to impossible for me to get pregnant, which really made me quite sad and depressed for actually a couple of years up until I found out I was pregnant. It's just not something that I liked to talk about. But yeah, she was a little negative about it, which kind of left a sour taste in my mouth. So I decided I would just go ahead and go back on birth control. This time it was a low dosage, and just keep regulating my period in hopes that if I went off it, it would just kind of regulate by itself and I would get pregnant someday. Obviously, it didn't happen that way, but that was my mentality back then. So around summer of 2015, I had stopped taking my birth control. When did I start? So I guess I started it in 2014, because in 2015 is when I stopped it. And the summer of 2015, I just went a little crazy. I was obsessing so much about getting pregnant that I would make myself feel that I was pregnant. I had symptoms constantly. I thought I was nauseous all the time. I took so many pregnancy tests and they were all negative, and it was just so hard to see negative after negative on a pregnancy test, knowing how much I wanted a baby, knowing how much we wanted a family, also knowing people that were pregnant that even though you're happy for them, you can't help but feel a little bitter, which sucks. One moment. Hello, that was my mother-in-law calling. I forgot where I was. Dang it. Okay, so I think I'll just pick up where I think I left off. So I was obsessing over being pregnant. I thought I was pregnant all the time and I wasn't. I had coworkers that were pregnant. My best friend got pregnant. I had family members that were pregnant. I knew people that weren't looking that got pregnant. I knew people that didn't want kids yet that got pregnant. And here I was wanting and hoping and praying and trying to be pregnant so bad and making myself feel I was pregnant, and I never was. And I was just so bitter that I knew I wanted a baby so bad, and for some reason it just wasn't happening to me, which now in hindsight I feel like it's because I was obsessing so much over it that it just wasn't happening. It just wasn't my time yet, and now I see it. But back then it was really hard. It was really tough. I was really sad. I would always tell my husband, like, I'm just never gonna have kids. It's not gonna happen for me. And it just sucks, like, knowing how happy I am now and how blessed I am to have a baby, like, just remembering how sad I was that it just wasn't happening. But everything happens for a reason, and this was the perfect time to have a family now. So anyway, so it was around 2015 when I was obsessing over being pregnant. Obviously it wasn't happening, and I didn't do much about it until 2017. So I was off my pills and not ever getting my period, and I knew it was extremely unhealthy for me, but I just like I said, I was in a dark little spot. I was in a dark time in my life, and I don't know, I thought it would happen miraculously, I guess. And it just didn't happen that way. Obviously, I needed to do something about it. It was just something that I hated talking about. You guys know I work at a restaurant, so customers want to know about your life. The subject would always come up. People would always ask me when I was going to start a family, because once you get married, I guess that's the first thing people ask you. Are you pregnant? Are you going to have babies? Which I think is so intrusive, but that's just the way people are. So I decided to just, after obsessing about it for so long, I was just going to let it go. So starting in 2017, I just let it go. We moved into this house around March, and this house has 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and I decided I was gonna make the second room a makeup room, and I was gonna dedicate my time to start a YouTube channel and just focus on my love for makeup. And this was my baby, like makeup was my baby, and I wanted to make something out of my passion for makeup, so I decided to start a YouTube channel. And it barely lasted because in July I went to a gynecologist thanks to one of my aunts. She was like, you need to do something about it. Even if you don't want to get pregnant anymore, or you are not looking for it right now, you have to regulate your period. You have to be healthy. So she made an appointment for me, which I thank her dearly for, and I went to a new gynecologist. And right away when I went to this new gynecologist, I just had such a positive mindset, and she was so great to me. She told me I would absolutely get pregnant. She told me it would take a little time, but it was definitely going to happen for me. And I guess when you hear those words, such a contrast from the last one to almost impossible to an actually it's gonna happen, I guess like your whole mentality changes. And I didn't think anymore that I would never have kids. I just knew that it would just take a little time, but I was so much more positive about it this time. So I went on progesterone for a week to jumpstart my period, and then after that my doctor put me on metformin, which is a diabetic drug. But something about it helps people with PCOS. I'm not exactly sure what it is about it, but I just know that something about it helps. And it really did help because I got my period late July. So I didn't get my period in August, which was okay because my doctor said even if you do get your period once every other month, that's still considered normal. So I was fine with that. And then early September, I noticed I was ovulating. Now, I knew that if you ovulate, you either get your period for sure, or there's a chance to get pregnant. So I let my husband know that I was ovulating, and we weren't using protection ever anyway, so it's not exactly like we planned it. Like we were trying so hard. I guess we were always kind of trying, but I did let him know that we were ovulating, and that I was ovulating, and so it ended up working and I got pregnant. So how I found out I was pregnant, I got pregnant early September and I found out September 30th. So I kind of found out early on my pregnancy, and it's because I kept having symptoms. And at first I thought it was like it had been in the past where I thought I was pregnant. I made myself feel pregnant, and then it wasn't the case ever. But this time it was, and I just didn't know it yet. So I felt a lot of symptoms. My breasts were hurting. I was having cramps. So this is why I thought I was gonna have my period, because before my period came, when it did come, I would always have like pain in my breasts and cramps. Always. I just always had really bad cramps. But this time it was different. Like my breasts were hurting, but my nipples were too. I'm sorry, that's TMI. Yes. Sorry, my mom's gonna bring my baby so you guys can meet her. So I just kept having a lot of pain, and I was smelling things, which was something I definitely never felt when I was about to get my period. So I just knew something was different this time. And oh, she's so cute. Thank you. Oh, hi baby. Everyone, this is my baby girl, Emma. I'm sorry the light's bothering you. baby. So I knew something was different this time because I was smelling things, and just a lot of the symptoms I was feeling were just a little different than the symptoms I would feel when I was about to get my period. You're just so cute. Sorry, I'm just in love with her. So yeah, so I decided I was gonna take a pregnancy test because I had saved one of the dollar ones, the cheap ones, because I decided I was never gonna spend as much money as I had spent summer of 2015. Okay, so after that summer of 2015 where I spent so much money, I decided I was not gonna do that again. Are you gonna let mommy film or no? Okay, here we go again. So baby's happy now, she's fed, she's napping, she's good. So let's keep going. I decided I wasn't gonna, I think I said that already, I just don't know where I left off. So anyway, I decided I wasn't gonna spend as much money as I spent summer 2015. So I took a dollar pregnancy test September 30th. Now my birthday is September 28th, and I originally wanted to take it on my birthday, but I didn't want to ruin my birthday if it came out negative. However, if you know me, you know how impatient I am, so I couldn't not know. So on the morning of September 30th, it was 5:30 in the morning, and I was getting ready for work, and I decided to take the pregnancy test. And when I first took it, I guess I looked at it too fast because you gotta give it like 3 minutes. But once again, I'm impatient, so I looked at it and nothing came up yet. So I took it as, okay, it's negative, I'm used to it. Now all these crazy symptoms that I've been feeling, they're gonna go away now because it's all mental, it's all in my head. And about like 5 minutes went by and I was gonna throw it away, and when I looked at it, it had 2 lines and it was positive. And I'm gonna cry now because I'm so emotional about this. So I feel like once you see those 2 lines on a pregnancy test, if you're looking for a baby, if you want a baby, your whole life changes. I feel like I became a mother the moment I knew I had my baby inside of me, and I knew that I wanted my pregnancy to be a healthy pregnancy. I knew that my life would change forever. I knew that nothing was about me anymore. Everything was about the baby now. The baby would come first, and yeah, that's how I found that I was pregnant. It was a complete shock. I had been disappointed so many times that I just automatically thought that it'd be negative, and it wasn't. And now I'm blessed with such a beautiful, happy, little chunky, big baby girl that I love so much, and she's everything I could have hoped for and more. She was worth every tear shed over a negative test. She was worth all the wait. She was worth the 9 months of pregnancy. She was worth everything, and I'm just so happy with her. And I wanted to make this video to let you guys know why I was gone. I would love to go into detail about my pregnancy, but I don't want this video to be an hour long. So if you guys would like to know about my pregnancy, about the little complication I had in the first trimester, because let me tell you, pregnancy is not glamorous. Pregnancy is hard. And yeah, I can go into a lot of detail about it because there's a lot of things that people don't tell you when you're pregnant, and things I had to find out as it went by. I can also make a labor and delivery kind of story time video. And lastly, I wanted to let you guys know what direction my channel is going to take. And if you guys would be interested in it, I'm gonna keep doing makeup videos because I love makeup and it's my passion. But now being a mother and having Emma, and you know, when you're a mom, it's a 24/7 job. It's an all day everyday job, and I want to incorporate motherhood. I want to incorporate lifestyle, maybe some vlogs with my family, and yeah, I want to make different kinds of videos as well. So have a balance between makeup videos and life videos, I guess you can kind of say. Yeah, so if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you guys would like a pregnancy video, a labor and delivery video, maybe combine that one. If you guys would like to know about motherhood, how it's been for me. It's been a month now. If you guys want to see makeup related videos, if you guys want an updated like a quick 10-minute routine, because that's basically all I have time for, is like 10 minutes to do my makeup and then go right back to being with the baby. And yeah, if you guys are still watching this, then thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I wanted to mention PCOS because it's something not talked about very often, if at all. And I know I'm not the only person that has PCOS, and I know how hard it is to actually get pregnant. A lot of people don't talk about the difficulties getting pregnant either, so I did want to mention my story with that. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in my next video, and bye. I went on production. So now my camera turned off. I decided I was gonna take a pregnancy test. Nope, this is just not gonna work out. Hi. Oh, I'm sorry. Can we cooperate? Cause mommy's trying to make a video about you. Want to include motherhood and pregnancy and lifestyle and how much your life changes when you have a kid. Can't make videos anymore like before. Was I? Oh my god. I've been interrupted so many times. I decided, oh my gosh, am I ever gonna finish this video? Hello? Hi, baby.